He grant me protection against my fault. Tonight, grant me protection against my fault. And guide me to the best of morals. Tonight, guide me to the best of morals. But turn away from me the evil and the decent morals. Tonight, you turn away from me the evil and the decent morals. Oh, I bless my heart. Bless the true fathers of my heart. As I did the best Abraham. The true fathers of Abraham. Surely I pray to them. Oh, I make Muhammad successful. The true fathers of Muhammad successful. As I did make Abraham successful. The true fathers of Abraham successful. Surely I pray to them. Amen. May we see it. Allah is the most merciful. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah. I further bear witness that Muhammad is the messenger. And I thank Allah enough for his intervention in our affairs in person of Pastor Muhammad, to whom all praises are due forever, and for him raising up a Georgia-born black man and placing the toughest task on his mind and on his shoulders and on his heart, and that's the resurrection of the black man and woman in America. And I'm speaking of none other than the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's right. We have to continue to thank Allah because he thought enough of us that he would weep in our midst. The boldest black man that I've ever seen. I'm speaking of none other than the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who has been representing us when we didn't have the ability or the know-how to represent ourselves. I'd like to greet each and every one of you in the greeting words of peace and paradise. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
How are we feeling today?
Fine, sir.
I'm feeling fine. All praise is due to Allah. We can't thank each and every one of you enough for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and spend this time with us and allow us to share these life-giving teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. I know that it was a great sacrifice. And I just want you to know that we really appreciate it because you could have, in a sense, opted out. You could have said that you didn't set your clock and you lost track of time, or you were running behind. But as you know, the condition of us as people, we are continuing to be running behind because we don't know what must be done and we don't know the time that we're in. So I thank you. And I ask that you give yourself a black hand. Give yourself a black hand. Just realize that we don't take you coming out today and sharing this time with us for granted. Yes, sir. Now, as we look at all these things that are going on in this world, I always refer back to our #1 minister, which is the Final Call newspaper. Yes, sir. Because I feel that the importance of this paper is so valuable to our people. Because I know that what's in this particular paper will at least start us to start thinking different about ourselves, about our people, and about the way we're being treated as a people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And so when you get a chance, you read this because this particular topic says American Race Warrior. This particular Final Call, with this particular title, is trying to give us a warning because we know that this world that we're in today is full of corruption. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
And we know that it's corruption because we can see it happening to us day in and day out through the police departments all over the world, through the judicial system, through the court system. Every day we see that we have been treated unjustly every time we appear before their judges.
That's right.
And as I read this Final Call newspaper, this particular article was speaking of a Coast Guard that had decided that he wanted to kill some people, some black politicians, and some other folks. But what we fail to realize, and what we need to realize, is all these people that come up with doing these things have either been part of some kind of extremist when it comes to their nationalism.
That's right.
And so usually they come up through the military.
That's right.
Because they go in the military and they join certain parts of the military that will enable them to go out and kill innocent people.
That's right.
And so what happens is then when they come out, because they've already had the taste of blood, and then what happens is the first thing they want to do is become a police.
Yes, sir.
And so it's no coincidence that we are being killed wholesale. But what happens is, with all the corruption going on in the world, they're always trying to do things to keep us from paying attention to what's actually happening.
That's right.
Because we have the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who's constantly speaking truth to falsehood, constantly waking up the black man and woman at every chance he gets. But when they know that something is good for us, they continue to run interference.
That's right.
Because remember now, 10-10-15 in Washington, D.C., we didn't use their network. Social media allowed that event to be successful.
That's true.
So not long after that, what did they do? They went after social media to try to block us from listening to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. That's why I always say repeatedly, let them continue to plan, but Allah is the best of planners.
That's right.
And they cannot stop what they cannot control, and they cannot stop who they don't got.
That's
Because
right.
we know that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is connected. And whatever they try to do, they can't. Because he's our man and he's representing us.
Yes, sir.
And it's our job as believers. We have to stand strong and defend our minister.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
With all this corruption and all these things that are going on in the world, the headline news is about an actor, an empire. And it's amazing how these folks go crazy and putting all these emphasis on he told a lie.
Yes.
And they know that we are watching TV, and Empire may be some of our people's favorite show. So now our people are following that. But while they're following that, what happens is all this other stuff is going on.
Yes, sir.
Just like the police officer that killed our brother in Chicago, Juan McDonald. He went to jail and got little time, and the other officers wouldn't walk. But the headline story in Chicago was about an actor who they claim has lied. And I said they claim. But who's the number one liar?
Go ahead.
They have always lied.
That's right.
That's right.
Even with this shooting, they always lie. They always try to tamper with the evidence and change the story so that it will seem as if what really took place did not. And all last week I watched that. That was one. The white officer that shot the brother on the highway while he was at his SUV. They cleared her. Justified. That's another. The officer that shot the young brother in his grandmother's backyard with a cell phone.
Go ahead.
That officer walked. So what is it telling us? What is a black life worth? But we know how valuable we are to one another, so we have to start treating each other better.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
If these things that are happening in the world don't cause us to unite and come together as a people, then something's wrong.
That's right.
Because it's very visible, and usually these things will happen and they would sweep them under the so-called carpet. But there isn't any carpet for them to sweep it over because everyone has a camera. And regardless of what we see on video, they take these cases to the judges and these officers walk.
Yes, sir.
But all these issues that we're seeing is continuing to show us over and over again this time, folks, black men and women, this time for us to come together and separate.
Yes, sir.
And we can't hesitate about it. Because with all these things happening, why can't I want for my brother what I want for myself?
That's right.
That's why these life-giving teachers are so valuable
That's
to you and I.
That's true.
Because we knew the condition that we was in prior to hearing these life-giving teachers.
That's right.
And so if it was good for us, we have to work day in and day out to reach our brothers and sisters and introduce them to that which we were introduced to.
That's right.
Because right now, with all this going on, and our people are constantly going as if they don't even see what's happening. and you see the weather, you see the floods, you see the tornadoes that just hit a week ago.
Yes, sir.
Allah is angry, and they can't arrest him for the tornado. They can't arrest Allah for the hurricane and the earthquake. But the black man and woman, we must come together. That is very important. I remember hearing the minister say, he said that time dictates agenda. And we could be doing the right thing at the wrong time and get the wrong result.
That's right.
Because it's just so valuable, the importance of the time. And as you see it, we're at a time now that all the indicators are showing us that it's time for us to come together, because if we don't, we will suffer the consequences. Because usually when you know that a storm is coming, you kind of prepare yourself with some form of a survival kit, am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know there's a possibility that the lights may go off, so you get some candles and batteries, right?
That's right.
You know there's a possibility that you may not have access to the grocery store and get water, so you store your house with water and food and things that can sustain you through whatever difficulty or time frame that you're in where you are not able to get those things. But no one teaches us about the survival kit. We never heard about a survival kit until we came into these teachings.
That's right.
Because these teachings are tailor-made for the black man and woman.
Yes, sir.
Because you know when something is tailor-made, they have to cut out a pattern. They have to measure.
Yes, sir.
And then they have to cut it out. And then they have to sew it together so when you put it on, it fits you to the T.
Yes, sir.
And somebody look at it and say they can tell the difference between a rack suit and a tailor-made suit.
Yes, sir.
Because the tailor-made is designed to fit the person that it's designed for.
That's right.
So these teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is designed to fit the minds and the hearts of the black man and woman here in America.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
So when we look at that, we know how we were when we came in here.
Yes, sir.
Islam dignified the black man.
Yes, sir.
It changed the way we walk.
That's right.
It changed the way we talk to one
That's
another.
right.
It gave us that utmost respect for our women that we didn't have.
Yes, sir.
It let us know how valuable our women are.
That's
It
right.
let us know how important we are to one another.
That's right.
It also taught us the value of family and also responsibility.
Yes.
Because before we know these teachers, or before we heard these teachers, we didn't know how to be responsible men.
No.
And I know some of you say, why do you say that?
What is the truth?
Because we knew how we were conducting ourselves as a people.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Because you know society has made wrong look right.
Yes, sir.
And we realized once we came into these teachers that it shook us so, so it made us realize that, man, we have been deceived.
That's right.
Because that's their goal,
Yes, sir.
to deceive us. That's why whenever Minister Farrakhan speaks, they always try to come and use some of our people to talk against what he's saying.
That's what they did.
Because it's something about how they try to run interference when the black man or woman is trying to get the truth.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Because sometimes we have become content in being in darkness. And I'm going to give you an example.
Go ahead.
I work in a warehouse.
Yes, sir.
And as you come out of the warehouse to go into the building, there's a hall. And the hall was pitch black 2 days ago.
Go ahead.
And everybody walking through the hall to go into the building.
Yeah.
And immediately when I walked through the hall, I found the light switch and turned the light on. And I said, we have got so comfortable in being in darkness till the light switch was a few feet away.
That's right.
And I said, well, what happens is that this light, once it hits you, the black man and woman refuse to be in darkness anymore.
That's right, sir.
And so I looked at that.
Go ahead.
I said, wow, we've gotten content in this darkness
That's right.
as a people.
Yeah.
And all through America, all through the world, people are walking by across from a mosque,
Yeah.
across from a study room,
Yeah.
in darkness,
That's right.
not knowing all they have to do is cross the street and come in the door and find light.
That's right.
Because we know that once we came into these light giving teachings, it changed. Because it caused us to take a self-evaluation. Caused us to look at the man or the woman in the mirror.
That's it. Yes, sir.
And because when Minister Farrakhan speaks to us. Seems like when you first come into these teachings, seems like that message is directly focused towards you.
Yes, that's right, directly.
So our minister always tells us just pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
He said, if he haven't got to you yet, he's coming.
Yes, sir.
And that's the truth.
That's true.
Because before we heard this life-giving teaching, brothers and sisters, we didn't have an argument.
That's right.
Because we didn't know what to say even when we was in a wrong environment.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Go ahead.
But I heard a man
That's right, sir. Very man.
that made me throw the Bible away overnight
Me too.
and got me more focused on how to eat the living.
Yeah, me too.
Got me more focused on taking better care of myself.
Me too.
Because to see that,
Uh-huh.
and these folks always setting up these rehabilitation programs when our people are suffering. But how can a people solve your problem and they don't know who you are? How can a people give you a solution to your problem and they don't know what kind of person you are?
That's right.
That's why I say this is the center of healing right here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The black man and woman don't need a 12-step program.
Oh, no. We need God.
We need Almighty God alone.
That's right.
Like I said before. And I will continue to say it over and over again as I listen to my buddy Al Green sing that song, How to Mend a Broken Heart. That's just something that I like. Because when he was singing, and as I became an adult, I started listening to him.
Mm-hmm.
And the main part that caught me was, how can a loser ever win? You know when we was out in the world, we was losers.
Yes, sir.
And I said, Al, I got it.
All right.
How can a loser ever win? We got to first submit our will to the will of Allah. And that's the beginning process of us starting a winner. Because we are born to be a winner.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We don't like losing. That's why we're with our champion.
Yes,
That's
sir.
right.
That's right.
Our minister, Louis Farrakhan, no one can defeat our minister.
No. Very good champ.
And that's why they're ducking and dodging him now, because he gave them an invitation.
Yes, he did.
Didn't he?
Yes,
Yes,
he
sir.
did. You called him
I
out.
just want to make sure that you all heard the same thing.
I heard it.
That's right. We did.
Because when you called them out, you haven't heard anything but crickets.
Yeah.
But I'm not the keynote speaker. I just wanted to come here and just tell you how much I love you and how glad I am to see you.
Yes, sir.
And if you just be honest with yourself and listen to these life-giving teachings, and then when you go home and relax and allow it to digest, and then you, while you digesting it, it's steady working in your mind, you realize, for starters, that it was something that you heard today is worth looking into.
Yes, sir.
Because this is the first step for some of you all to the beginning of life.
That's right. It's your life.
Because the black man and woman is dead.
Yes.
But these life-giving teachings, there is always a message to the black man.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And that message to the black man has changed me. And I know that it will change you and I. So I would like to stick a pin in it. And I would like to bring the next brother up that will be taking us a little further in our program. And at this time, I'd like to bring on our state minister, student minister, Brother Darryl Muhammad.
Well, bring him on.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
In the name of Allah, the merciful, help witness. First, we give praise and thanks for His goodness and His mercy. We thank Him for His many blessings, His many gifts. The greatest gift being the gift of divine revelation. Thank Him for Moses and the Israelite prophets in the Torah. Thank Him for Jesus and the apostles and the Injil, the New Testament. We thank Him for Muhammad, Ibn Abdullah, the Quran. Peace be upon His word, the servants of Allah. I am a student of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. We never thank Allah enough for his intervention in our affairs. In the person of Master and Father Muhammad, raising up among us a divine leader, teacher and guide, in the person of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And we could never thank them both enough for leaving in our midst his servant, his warner, his mercy, his extension in our midst, the Honorable Minister Louis Farmer. And it's in their names I would like to greet all my brothers and sisters with the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
Once again, it gives me the great pleasure and honor to be back in the city of Savannah, Georgia. I want to thank the Tompkins Center for always opening their doors. When we're here. I thought I would say this up front. When they open their doors, it ain't always free.
Yes, sir.
So we need your help at the end. To help us so that, we can take care of those obligations.
That's right.
But once again, I'm back. And, as I told you all, this was not going to be a flash in the pants type thing.
No, sir.
That I was committed to coming back and forth to Savannah as need be until we can reach the objective that our student regional minister gave to us, is to make Savannah a new model.
That's right.
In the southern region. So on it, I got you, as Sonny and Cher used to say, I got you, baby.
It's all right.
You got me. We're not letting off until we achieve the objective.
Yes, sir.
So, Mike can't come to you every Sunday, but I'll try to be at least once a month.
Yes, sir.
So that I can make sure that we are moving forward toward that objective. And I tell you, I greatly respect the sisters who travel to Macon every Saturday. They have my greatest respect.
Yes, yes.
Because to get up, to get here, 2.5 hours away, and they do it early in the morning.
Yes,
They have
sir.
to be in Macon by 9 o'clock. They are some soldiers.
Yes, sir.
They are some champions.
Yes, sir.
They do that every Saturday. I think we should get them.
Yes, sir.
That kind of effort. Now, before I get into what it is that I think I'm going to say, I hope that's what I'm going to say. How you going to think and how you going to hold? Because once I start talking, I never know how the spirit takes over.
Yes, sir.
One thing in 22 years of teaching, I have learned that when the spirit takes you, just don't be fighting.
No.
Just let it go.
Let it go.
Because it could be, and most ain't no could be, it is for the people of that audience.
Yes, sir.
And you're saying to them what needs to be said. So that's why it's very hard for me to give topics and give you what I'm going to talk about in advance, because I truly don't know sometimes. And sometimes that is very frustrating. But I'm learning to just, okay, I ain't let you down so far. You just roll with the flow. So the Christians, I like the little placard they have on their car sometimes, saying that, well, they say God is the co-pilot. But I don't like that. God is the pilot.
That's right.
And we are the co-pilot.
That's right.
So we have to learn to allow God to be the pilot. But before I get into this, I want to bring this principle out of something that's in the Bible. And I wish a lot of us would hit this. I'm going to try to bring out two, and I hope I can say these two principles without it being my whole lecture. Now, there's a scripture where Jesus is speaking with his disciples, and he's talking to all of them, but Peter asked the question directly. Peter, and in my Bible, this Schofield version of the King James Version, it is under a topic or a heading that is called the law of forgiveness.
Yes, sir.
So Peter, I think this is Matthew 18, I believe, 18:21. I could look at it, couldn't I?
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to. Let me make sure so when you go home, you won't say, that brother told me it was this and it was that. But yeah, it's 18. It's 18. And it starts at about verse 21. And Peter asked Jesus, how many times shall my brother offend me and I forgive him?
Go ahead, teacher.
Jesus answered him, and he said, 70 times 7. Now stop right there. Now we're going to take that literally for what it means.
Yes, sir.
We take the literal meaning. Everybody all right now?
Yes, sir.
He says 70 times 70. Now look what he said now. He said, how many times shall my brother offend me? Right? You don't hear this about how many times the enemy offend me. And one thing about black people, let me tell you about us in our psychology, how it is now. We will forgive our open enemy 70 times 7. But we won't forgive each other 70. We won't forgive each other 1 time 1.
That's right.
Because once you offend me once, Negro,
Yeah.
I'm finished with you. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
But our open enemy, who castrated you, who burned you at the stake, who called you 3/5 of a human being,
Yeah.
who called you and called you
Okay.
nigga,
Go ahead.
coon,
Yeah.
shine,
Yeah.
handball.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's right.
All you young brothers, thugs,
Yeah.
predators,
That's right.
inner city,
Yeah.
the poor.
Yeah.
Is that right? He call you everything, can do everything to you. He's at the root of the drug problem in our community.
That's right.
But he can offend you, and you say to him, it's wrong to hate, forgive our enemies.
Yeah. I forgive you.
But when your brother offend you, it ain't wrong to hate, slay that nigga.
That's right.
Because he has offended me. Now, I know I'm thinking about young brothers here.
Yeah.
When I see nigga, his head went back. I ain't never been to a place where a preacher say nigga. You'd be surprised at what preachers do.
Yes, sir.
If you've been around them.
That's right.
That's right.
But don't be shocked because he has such a rough mouth.
Yes, sir.
Because when you talking to stiff neck,
That's right.
hard-headed,
Yeah.
rough-neck people,
Right.
and you can't talk to them with no kiddie language.
That's right.
Now, here my sister's here, and then I get on about the point. See my brother, I saw his head through there.
Yeah, yeah.
This one, I said, nigga, you thought I was looking over there and didn't see it. Now, sisters, you got children. Even if you're trying to be right and kind with them, you know, white folks say, put them in your time out.
Time out. Yeah.
Speak light to them. But when you're speaking to your children, sometimes they don't move until you say, get your,
Yeah.
kick your,
Yeah.
if you don't do this, I'm gonna be.
Yeah.
Oh, mama, for real now.
Right.
And they get to moving, but when you was trying to be sweet, they were not moving.
No.
So sometimes, proper language for the proper moment to get results is very needed.
Yes, sir.
Everybody all right?
Yes, sir.
All praises. And that ain't mean I ain't gonna come out here and do no cussing. I didn't cuss. I just said nigga.
That's right.
Everybody all right?
Yes, sir.
Now, here's your open enemy has called you all these days.
Yes.
Has hung you at the stake. I mean, you should go and look at that. I listen to black people sometimes when I'm listening to them on the radio. We don't even want our children now to even learn about that.
Yeah.
You don't even want that to be brought up in public school. And if somebody try to go back and teach our children of what happened to us, then they want to hang that teacher out.
Yeah.
Because we have moved on from that. Why are we teaching that? Well, if you don't know what has happened to you in the past, then you don't know what's going on with you right now.
That's right. That's right.
And if you don't know what's going on with you right now, you don't know what the hell you're going to be going on in the future.
That's right.
So you have to be taught a knowledge of yourself. And you have to be taught painful history.
That's right.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
That remind you of what our people went through and what they suffered just to get here. And just to have you here. So I was telling the believers in Macon, I said, you think about this. I was looking at this show, and I would tell all of you to go look at it. It's on YouTube. It is called Goodbye Uncle Tom. It is a French-made movie. And it shows you the horror of when we were in the ships, in the hold of those slave ships. Now, if you're kind of weak and can't take it now, I'm telling you, don't go look at it. But if you want to see what our people suffered in the holds of those ships, these French filmmakers make a real good show of it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And they show you how we were in the hold of those ships, the condition that we were in those ships. Do you hear me?
Go ahead.
Many of them that landed in the port of Savannah. So all of you are here that are now that are black. You are the surviving offspring of your people that came from over there in the holds of slave ships, crying and hollering, can we ever get back to where we were from? Everybody all right?
Yes, sir.
So they were there. You need to look at this movie. That when some of the slaves, you see some of it in Amistad. When you look at Amistad, they show you some of it. Roots, cleaned up version, but this right here is raw.
Yes, it is.
And it will let you to see how when some of the black men didn't want to feed. Now listen to me, brother. I want these young brothers to listen. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Because you have been disconnected from your history. This is why the young black man in particularly is twisted up.
That's right.
And he has been made into a nigger by the white man.
That's right.
And he is not what he's created to be, and that is the reflection of God.
That's
And
right.
when you talk about God to our young brothers, they think that you're trying to be some kind of punctified man. They think, listen, I want you to listen because of what they see the preacher going through. So they think religious peoples are punks. They don't talk to me about no God because the enemy has painted God as a weak something. But you ain't never met the original black man.
That's right.
You ain't never really met what God looked like. You ain't never met the followers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Minister Louis Farrakhan, who are godly men.
That's right.
We may walk with these suits on. We may walk with these ties on. But if you slip wrong, we'll fix you right.
That's right.
But I don't want you sitting up in here thinking you got a regular church.
No, ain't nothing regular.
Everybody all right? I told you I didn't know how the spirit goes.
Go with it.
We believe in land hands.
That we do.
Sir.
We do.
We got our ointment bottle.
That's right. That's right.
We keep it in our back
All the
pocket.
time.
And if you move wrong, we're glad to lay hands
That's
on
right.
Sir.
The first aid.
you to heal you of the demons.
That's right.
Cast them out.
And we get all of the demons
No
about you.
doubt.
So the issue is the black man in particular, young black man. He's powerful.
Yes, he is.
He's strong.
Yes, he is.
Like Samson.
That's right.
He got his strength back, but he's blind.
That's right.
So he uses his strength to kill. He uses his strength of aggression not to uplift his community. He uses it to attack one another.
That's right.
And tear one another down. And so the enemy misuses and perpetuates your newfound fearlessness to keep you in your place. Not to use it against him, but to use it against yourself.
Yes, sir.
Everybody all right?
Yes, sir.
So, sorry about that.
Let it go.
And I want to let them brothers know I love them.
Yeah.
I don't want you to think you coming in here, this is no ordinary place.
No.
This is serious business. And we want to connect you to your past. And we want to bring you here. And we're not no bunch of crazy people.
No, we're not.
Because all of us came in at 18, 19,
Right.
20, 21
Yes,
years
sir.
old. Is
Yes,
that right?
Yeah.
We want to all know holy people coming down out of heaven.
No, sir.
We can tell you some things
Yeah.
that y'all probably don't even know about. And if we told you about it, you'd be shame about it.
That's right.
You'd be shame for us.
That's right.
But we met a God
That's right.
who forgave us for all of our sins
Yes, sir.
that white folks put on us.
That's right.
Everybody all right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now let me go and follow the principle of forgiveness myself. Now, so we can forgive the enemy. But Jesus said, when Peter asked him about his brother, 70 times 7. Now, if you take that, on the top of it is 490 times. So that means I can't even hold a grudge on you until I done forgave you for offending me 490 times. So Paul, in talking to his people, he said that the believers had to come, they had to learn to be long-suffering. Because we had all been raised up in a world that was contrary to God. Right?
Yes,
And
sir.
we had been made to hate ourselves. So by being made to hate ourselves and still being mixed with some of the teachings of the world, when we find God, then if we don't learn the principle of forgiveness as we all mature, then we can never make it through as a brotherhood and a sisterhood, and we cannot get to the end process of this, which is a united front.
Go ahead. Yes, sir.
So if we don't learn how to forgive when I am offended and don't hold it, then we can never come into the unity that we desire. Everybody all right now?
Yes, sir.
So he told them this, then he gave them a parable. Jesus taught. He said, was a man here who owed his king, I think it was, let me put it this way, in modern terms, he owed him a whole lot of money. And that king, when he begged for his forgiveness, I think the Bible says it was, and I'm looking at it, but I got to keep it from me, 10,000 talents that he owed the king. Now, I went and looked that up. Everybody all right now?
Yes, sir.
Spiritual, but you getting what I'm saying, huh? I went and looked that up one 10,000 talents was the currency of the day when Jesus was among us.
That's right.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
They call it, it was so many shekels. I think they had 6,000 shekels would equal 1 talent. Or it was either 6,000 shekels or 6,000 pence. That equaled 1 talent. So here's a man, if 6,000 shekels equal 1 talent, and here's a man that owed a man 10,000 of them. So that is 10,000 times 6,000, right? And they say in today's terminology, that means that that man would have owed this man over almost one, I believe. I'm trying to say it correct. If not, I'll text it to you, Brother James, so that we can make sure it's correct.
Yes, sir.
Owed that man in today's terms $150 million.
Wow.
Now, if we were in debt today, we about to lose our mind in $5,000 on debt. Hoping somebody can forgive us of our debt.
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
You wish you could get from under that house mortgage. You wish you could find a way to get from under that car note.
That's right.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
You wish that you could find a way to get rid of some of these credit card bills that you may have there. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Come on there, right?
Yes, sir.
And you wish you could go to somebody, just go to a king in the bank and say, look at here, I'm begging your mercy, forgive me of these debts.
Right.
And the king at the bank would say, okay, Mr. Muhammad or Miss Muhammad, all your debt is forgiven. Ooh, when you walk out that bank,
Yes, sir.
feeling real good, wouldn't you? All your blood pressure, all that would probably go down.
Yes, sir.
When you go back to the doctor, all your numbers would be right on time. And they'll say, what happened? The king at the bank forgave me all my debt. I ain't got no money issues. But that's what that was. He owed the man and he forgave him for his debt. But that same man went out, and it was a man who owed him only 100 pence.
Go ahead.
Now I want you to look at this. He owed somebody 10,000 talents,
Right.
$160 million.
Yeah.
And here was somebody who owed him 100 pence. Wow. And the 100 pence, I went and looked that up too.
Okay, that's right.
That was like pennies.
Yeah.
So that's like, I owe you $160 million, you owe me $1.60.
Yeah.
Or let's get it in high inflation, $10.60.
Okay.
Or $100.60.
Yeah.
That still ain't no money today, is that right?
No, sir.
Man, you take $10, boy, and go buy you a coffee and 2 donuts, that's gone. I know y'all eat donuts, y'all strictly how to eat the live. I can't drink, I can't smoke, I don't fornicate. So sometimes dealing with us, a cup of coffee and 2 sour cream donuts, they just not avoid it. You know, we have to all find out a way. Can't drink, can't smoke no more. So the higher dogs become good. Is that right? Oh my God. It's Mayfield.
Yes, sir.
All your problems go away. As a Muslim, you can't drink it or smoke it away, so ice cream it away.
Yes, sir.
Everybody all right now?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Brother Darryl teaching this very spiritual lecture.
Okay.
But this is what happened. The more I come around you all, the more I feel you,
Yeah.
and the more I can speak into you.
Yes.
It ain't just Brother Darryl coming in here every once gone 6 months, and I say something gone. But now I'm starting to blend in with you.
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel you,
That's right.
right?
Yeah.
So I have to
Ain't no guess no more.
I ain't no guess no more. I told you I'm the assistant. So, here's a man, owed him 100 pence, and he went out and demanded,
That's right.
give me my 100 pence. Give me my $10.60.
Yeah.
So when the people who were in the debt room, when the king forgave him, they were looking at him. They was, oh my Lord. No, he ain't out here demanding this. When the king just forgave him all his debts.
Yeah.
So when they took it back to the king was like, what? What's that Negro doing? Go get him. Is that right?
That's right.
And bring him to me.
That's right.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
Bring him to me. And then he called the debt back.
That's right.
Is what the king did.
That's right.
Because he was not willing to forgive somebody who owed him when the king had forgave him for so much
Yeah.
of his debt and his transgression. Then I want to read this part. Then his Lord, after he had called him, said unto him, O thou wicked servant. Listen what he called him. Not just a servant, he called him a wicked servant. I want you to, I'm going somewhere with this. All right?
Yes, sir.
A wicked servant. He said, I forgave thee all that debt because thou desiredest me. All $160 million. I let it go. Shouldest not thou also have had compassion on thy fellow servant, even as I had pity on thee?
That's right.
And his Lord was wroth and delivered him to the tormentors till he should pay all that was due unto him. So likewise, Jesus talking, shall my heavenly Father do also unto you, if ye from your hearts forgive not everyone his brother. I mean you too, sister.
That's right.
His brother their trespasses. Now, in that is a very, very deep principle.
Okay.
Now, you're talking about talents. You're talking about money. But Jesus was using the things of that day that the people knew.
Right.
Right?
Yes, sir.
And giving good examples and showing them their relationship to their God. So Jesus, in making this example, was trying to let the disciples know when we are offended by one of our brothers or sisters, and we find it impossible to forgive them, but yet we turn around and we forget that the God that we serve forgave us this morning.
That's right.
For not praying at all yesterday. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir. That's right.
The one to whom we owe our very existence. The one sovereign Lord. The one who gives you your eyes, the one who gives you your mouth, the one who gives you your fingers, your toes. He gives you your heartbeat. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So the Quran says you can't count the blessings
No.
that Allah has given to you. So even when you are down and don't think you have and ain't where you should be, step back a minute.
That's right.
And be grateful for the things that you do have. And the one most important thing, if nothing is going right in your life, Allah gave you life today. day
Yes, sir.
that you can maybe change the things that were not right before now.
That's right.
So every day you get a chance to breathe, that is a chance to correct yourself and do something different to better yourself. That is a gift that you could not give yourself.
That's right.
So that alarm clock this morning didn't wake you up.
No.
All these young people don't have alarm clocks no more. They have these cell phones.
Yeah.
And I got a bunch of young people in my house, so all that 5 o'clock cell phones going off. One got the rap going off. It's up. I'm like, how can you wake up to that? One got Blue Summer from the, what's the girl's name? What's that name? The Indigo Girls. Oh man, see, you old people are supposed to know this with me. No, not no city girl. Woo, no.
Indigo girl.
No, I think Panorama. Oh, see, I forgot. Y'all been listening to white music.
Oh, okay.
See, we had to listen to Madonna,
Yeah.
Panorama, Sting,
Yeah, I did.
who's some more? Duran.
Yeah.
Right? We had to listen to all of them for a whole hour so we could see Beat It with Michael Jackson.
Right.
Or so we could see Billie Jean.
Yes, sir.
Or so we could see Whitney Houston.
Right.
So the white music grew on us.
Right. That's right.
The blue song is battle rap. This is one of the theme songs from Karate Kid. The first Karate Kid.
Yeah, okay.
With the white boy, not with
Right.
Will Smith's boy.
Yeah, look at my tree.
I have to tell these young people that because they think that's the first Karate Kid.
Right.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's really, I like the white version.
I did too. What's that?
But look at this. I want you to hear this.
Go ahead.
That clock, that phone did not wake you up.
No.
When your eyes came open, that was Allah allowing life to come back into you
Yes, right.
after a state of death.
That's right.
So Minister Rockman said the messenger told them, Brother Prince, if you want to know what death feels like, he said, just like when you sleep.
Peace, brother.
When you sleep, you have no consciousness of nothing going on.
Wow.
That's right.
Negroes sleep through EFI tornadoes.
Yeah.
Sir.
And you say that Negro was dead to the world. And that's how I used to say
That's
it.
right.
And I ain't hear nothing. I was dead to the world. But when you open your eyes,
Yes, sir.
breathe,
Yeah.
that is the God giving you another day of life.
Yeah.
That is something as we mature spiritually, you don't take that for granted.
Yeah.
So every day you get up, that is a day above ground.
That's right.
To be better
Yeah.
than you were yesterday.
Yes, sir.
That's God's forgiveness
Yes, sir.
for our transgressions
Yeah.
up until you woke up. And I don't know why I got this going. You go. Princeton said something back there, must have got my mind going. Now, here's a God. So the Quran says that when men sleep,
Yeah.
he takes their souls at night.
That's what it says.
And then some he returns to an appointed time,
That's right.
and some he keeps.
That's right. That's what it says.
Meaning they don't wake
You don't
up.
wake up. Peace.
So sometimes, listen, I want to show you how we experience this and don't even realize it. Sometimes you go to sleep and Allah can take your soul, and you don't realize it. He cleanses it, he writes on it, and then put it back in. Then you'll wake up and during the day somebody will say something or do something, and what you had in the night, it comes right to your mind.
That's right.
Oh, y'all think to be like I'm crazy.
No. You wake us up. That's true.
Come on, now everybody all right?
Yes, sir.
or this idea came up and you remember, oh, that's what I was sleeping on. Don't think you are a super smart Negro. But this is the God that was blessing you with something. Is that right? Or once you get up, you feel a certain spiritual high.
Yeah.
And you feel a certain relief of maybe if you had a bad, sinful day the day before, and you pray. See, this is why we should pray before we go to bed.
Yeah.
But the God is so merciful that even when we don't pray before we go to bed, it's just trifling me. I don't forgive him anyway. Get up! He didn't think about that I could take it. He didn't think about when he go to sleep, I got his soul.
That's right.
I want all of us to think about that. He did not think about that, or she
No.
did not think about that at all.
No.
Took my life and I gave them for granted. And so he writes on your soul. Have you ever been asleep, got up in the middle of the night, or you wake up in the morning and you are highly inspired?
Yes, sir.
And you sit and write,
Yes, sir.
or you sit and think, and then something in your mind that you went to bed with, it clears itself out. Well, how do you think that happened? Somebody cleared your soul.
Yes, sir.
Or somebody wrote on your soul.
Darryl.
Do y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
So when you woke up, that was a gift from the Creator that only He could give us. No money you got, nothing in this world can give you what Allah gave you and me, and that is His Spirit and His life to breathe this air to see another day.
Yes, sir.
That is the debt that you owe to the God
That's right.
who forgave you and me for falling short yesterday,
That's right.
and maybe the day before,
Uh-huh.
and maybe the day before that,
That's right.
and probably done fell more short than we done fell right.
That's right.
And that God forgives us and gives us another opportunity. And He does not do this just in a day. He do this year after year.
Yeah, sir.
Until He get tired of us. Or because we didn't take advantage of the gift that He gave us, we misuse it, we abuse it, and we cut the life short. But that cutting of the life short was not His deal. That was our deal.
That's right.
I want y'all to hear me now. I know this is very, you ain't never heard me teach like this. You have something making you hear this more. Because I teach spiritual. You can't just teach all evangelical. Gotta teach you something of principle.
Yeah.
To make you think about things, because this is a part of bringing us together in unity. And if you can't forgive when you are offended,
Yeah.
never have no kind of unity, nowhere. If we don't love to the degree that God loves.
Yes, sir.
Everybody all right now?
Yes, sir.
I was telling a brother this yesterday. I said, look at that sun out there. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that the sun is. I said, so Allah's love in the sun, when you look at the sun's love is so deep that it shines freely. And no matter how the people act, it does not affect it in its shine.
No.
No matter what the people do, the sun shines.
Yes, sir.
And gives everything the ability to be what God created it to be.
That's right.
It breathes without the sunlight, the rosebud seeds couldn't bust open.
That's
The acorns couldn't bust open. Of course, you got to have water, but it is sunlight
That's right.
that gives everything its life. So the sun is a representation of the most dynamic form of love. And this is why the Jesus figure, who is styled in the Bible, is styled as a son of God, S-O-N, and a S-U-N of God. And the Quran talks of Muhammad, it says that he is a light-giving son. Come on, now y'all follow me? I know. If you want me to come and beat up on white folks, you can go somewhere else. Put them outside. Because if you kill all white folks, I still got to come and kill you the next day.
That's right.
Because they are in us. So we put them over there. Now, so likewise, that is how God is. His love is so deep for the human being. He is so long-suffering. He has so much respect for the human being that he will suffer with us, especially the ones he has chosen. And suffer and give us his life. He has a deep love that even when we mess up, he may have to tap us up, but he brings us right back.
That's right.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
Come on, everybody all right?
Yes, sir.
Well, this is the kind of depthness of love, if there's ever to be any unity, that we have to develop.
That's right. That's right.
Why? Because we all been bit by the same dog. We all have been made other than ourselves. When we come in here and put on a suit and a bow tie, that don't mean we God yet.
That's right.
Or put on a garment, it does not mean that you are God yet.
That's right.
You are stating your potential to become a God. But guess what? It's still a Negro with God's clothes on. So while we are wearing God's clothes, we have to kill the Negro.
That's right.
So that God can truly wear God's clothes. So last week in Macon, I was telling them about how the old folks used to say, truth and lie went swimming together. Huh?
Yeah, go ahead.
And lie got out the pool
That's right.
and put on truth clothes.
That's right.
Took off down the street. And when the truth figured out what happened, he got out of the pool butt naked,
Yeah.
chasing truth. Chasing the lie. And then somebody said, here comes that naked truth. Well, it's not the flip side, but I use that story. I hope I'm not boring you now.
No, sir.
I really am not. I hope not. Because Negroes don't like to be taught principles. These kind of lectures bore. We like to hear somebody, like I said, beat up a white folks. Not gonna do that. But when you come to God, whether it's the mosque, whether it's the church, you have been born in a world that is contrary to God.
Yes, sir.
So the Bible says we were born in sin and shaped in iniquity. All right, depends on which one you read. Now, Minister Farrakhan, so when people hear that, the old Christian scholars, how they interpret it. See, everybody has a sinful nature. No,
Go ahead.
we disagree with that.
That's right.
Everybody does not have a sinful nature.
That's right.
Is that right?
That's right.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that the nature of the black man and woman is righteousness.
Right.
And we have been made other than ourselves under a people whose nature is sin and rebellion.
That's right.
Right?
Yes, sir.
And we have been made other than ourselves.
That's
But
right.
he also teaches us, Minister Farrakhan, say that means we were born in a world that was already in rebellion to God.
That's right.
When you and I were born, we were already born into a world that was already in rebellion, and then we were shaped by the institutions of that world. Is that right?
That's right.
By the iniquities of that world.
That's right.
So the school educational system shaped you. made you other than yourself. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
It made you to rebel against God.
That's right.
The whole system, whatever God said do, this world said don't do, or whatever God said don't do, this world says what? Do.
Yeah.
So you're born in a world that is in rebellion already.
That's right.
So if you and I are shaped by iniquity, now when we come to God, we're coming out of a world where we have been shaped by iniquity. So when we come to the truth of God, whether it is in a church or whether it is in a mosque or wherever you find it, now you coming, you found God, but you bringing iniquity with you.
That's right.
How am I bringing iniquity with me? That's what you've been formed with.
That's right.
So your thinking, the way that we think, the way that we act are the ways of the world.
That's right.
And we have to come into a place where a process can take place. Where we can truly, I make no bones about it, be brainwashed.
That's right.
Our brain scrubbed clean
That's right.
of the hatred of self.
Go ahead.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Having a withered hand can't do nothing for ourselves. Laying down at the rich man's table, begging for crumbs when we could get up and do something for ourselves.
That's right.
And not begging another people to do for us what we could do for ourselves. See, we bring that in. You bring in a hatred of yourself.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
A hatred of your black self. A hatred of yourself. And then the hatred of self got many levels.
That's right.
Because once we get you to kind of like your black skin, then we have to go internally.
That's right.
Because that's where the real ugly man hides. That's where the real ugly woman hides. The one that you can't see. And if we cannot fix that one, then we can't really fix the one on the outside. Because we have to fix the thinking. We have to fix the way we think about ourselves, the ways we see ourselves. So once we accept the black skin, now we got to get to fall in love with the person and the righteousness of our own nature.
That's right.
And that takes time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I want you to follow.
Yeah, it takes some time.
Yeah. So listen to this. What time? I said I'm gonna get up and be all day with it.
You got time. Go ahead.
Let's take our lessons. Why did Muhammad make the devil stay from 35 to 50 years before he could call himself a Muslim son? Now, that's a big question.
Yes, sir.
Now, Muslim, when we first looked at that on the surface, he made them devil study. He dropped them white masons. He didn't have to study.
Yes, sir.
Then they can come among us. Yeah, okay, that's one part of it.
Yeah.
But it has a much deeper meaning than that.
Yes, sir.
Huh? It's so that he could clean himself up
Yeah.
and come among us. A Muslim does not like the devil, regardless to how long you study.
That's right.
Is that right?
That's right.
He said after he goes through this labor from 35 to 50 years, we would allow him to come among us, and then he could do trading among us.
That's right.
And we would not kill him as quickly we would the other devil. We have not gone under this study.
Right. Let's say.
We didn't kill the white mason as quick.
Quick. Yeah. Right now.
That's the surface of it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But who you been under for the last 464?
Same one.
Who you been under?
The white.
Have you been under God?
No, sir.
Look at our condition. Have we been under God?
No, sir.
We have been under who?
The devil.
Come on, say it right out. Who we been under?
The devil.
We have been under devil's rule.
That's right.
So when you come, you and I have to go through a study course.
That's right.
This is why we have to learn how to eat to live.
Yes.
So that we can maintain our body.
That's right.
Give ourselves longevity.
That's right.
Because being turned from a Negro to a God, that ain't no year or two process.
No. That's right.
That is a long time. Do you follow me?
Yes, sir.
So Minister Farrakhan said to us at the laborers meeting in the Saviors, they listen to this. I don't know if Brother Jamie said it yet, but I'm going to say it again if he did. The minister said, this year, 1619, is the official year that the enemy keeps.
That's right.
As the 400th year of our sojourn. But Master Darryl Muhammad, and this is verified in the congressional records, in the congressional library, that the first of our fathers were bought here in 1555.
That's right.
He said, so 1555 to 1619 is 64 years.
That's right.
64 hidden years.
Go ahead. Teach on that.
That it took for them to break us down from a God to a slave. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
And when they got through with that process, in 1619, they presented a broken down black man, a slave, the new slave to the world.
There you go.
In 1619. And you need to go and read your history books and read about the slave breakers.
Yeah.
And the slave makers.
Yeah.
And how they took us on that island of Jamaica. Right?
Yes, sir.
And the Caribbean islands and broke us before they pulled us up in these harbors in Savannah.
That's right.
Because they didn't want no rebels, because it was rebels in South America.
Right.
It was blacks in the Caribbean. It was blacks in Central America who had some form of Islam from the other mother country.
Yeah.
Who was at the heart of these rebellions that run white people out.
That's right.
So they didn't want no rebellious Negroes getting to America. It's a deep history.
Yes, it is. You teach it.
Broken
Yeah.
in 64 years presented. So the minister say this year is the 64th year of his being in the nation.
That's right.
And he talked to us about, the white man had a game show called the $64,000 question. He didn't just come up with that number from somewhere.
No.
64,000. Why not 65,000?
Yeah. That's right.
Why not 63?
That's right.
Why don't you say 64?
It is 34.
See, that's tied to our history.
That's right.
Because it took them 64 years to break us and make us into a modern slave. So Minister Farrakhan say now, when this is his 64th year, and now after 64 years, God now is presenting the black man again in him, not as a slave, but as a God.
That's right.
His original self. But the point I'm making with that is how many years? 64. To make a man into a God.
That's right.
So when you see him at 86 in May,
Yeah.
look like a young man
That's right.
with his health conditions.
Yeah.
When I put that picture on my Facebook of the minister when he spoke to us at the laborers meeting, even my critics of the nation love that picture.
That's right.
Because they can't believe an 85-year-old man looked that good.
Right.
When most of them are 60 and breaking down.
That's right.
And he represents what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said in that great book, Our Savior Has Arrived. He said that the God promised him that he would reverse our aging process. He would return us to the age and the youth and the virility of a 16-year-old.
That's right.
But that would take time.
That's right.
Man, woo, can you imagine how you were at 16?
That's right.
I know how I was at 16 eating pork.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what I would be like now eating no pork?
Yeah.
I tell people in Atlanta, well, we used at 16, 95 degrees. We didn't have these gyms like these boys got, these young gymnasiums with air conditioning. We had cement full court.
That's right.
Outside, no trees, nowhere.
That's it. Yeah. Dirt.
If we wanted a water, we didn't have no fancy water bottle. You know what the water bottle was? Somebody went and hooked up the hose to somebody's back and stretched it out and everybody drank from the same same voice.
That's right.
And we would run whole court all day long.
That's right. Oh,
16.
yes, sir.
Woo! And I was eating pork.
Yeah.
Sneaking drink of liquor every now and then. And maybe puffed on a blunt.
Yeah.
See, I told you we didn't come from heaven, man. Come on, man. Is that right?
That's right.
And we had that kind of energy.
Yeah.
So can you imagine cleaned up what we had? Wow. Now I'm saying all this, you getting all that out of the law from getting it in. I'm just breaking it down. Breaking it down. So the point is, it would take time even to reverse your aging process. Because it would take time for you to struggle. So I'm back to the pool now. When I said truth and lie. But now, in this pool now, no, I ain't forgotten all my points. Watch me tie them up by God's grace. Now, when we get in the pool of Salon, because we met a man,
That's right.
right?
That's right.
Because we saw men as trees
That's right.
before we met Elijah Muhammad and Safari.
That's right.
See, sometimes you just got to think about where you were
Yes.
and how you changed
Yes, sir.
as a result of you meeting this man.
Yeah.
Then you got to understand that when you met the man, Satan and God had already made a deal.
Yeah.
That I'm going to make that Negro curse you to your face. He fired up now because he got his ex, but let me have it.
Yeah.
And when I get through with him from his brothers and sisters from among him, and through the nigga in his own self,
Right.
I'm going to make him hit the day he ever said Allah that part.
That's right. Yeah.
See, if you don't think about stuff like that, you get knocked up.
Yes, sir.
Okay? So instead of God, truth, and lie being in that pool, it's Negro and God in that pool.
Yeah.
God's clothes is up here on the back. And we struggle every day. Which one is coming out that pool?
Yes, sir.
No, y'all didn't hear what I just said. We struggle every day with which one is coming out that pool of Siloam. Is it the God or the Negro? Which one? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Which one is coming out to be here? So when Jesus met this Gardarian demonic,
Yeah.
when Jesus asked the man, he said, "What is your name?"
Yes, sir.
Listen to this. This is a hell of a name. I love this part. He said, "My name is Legion, for we are many."
Yes, sir.
I know you're talking to one man, but that man said, "My name is Legion,
Yes, sir.
and we are many."
Yes, sir.
Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Well, when you come in and you sign your name on that letter, your name Legion,
That's right.
for you are many. What do you mean? You are many of the sins that have been vexed on us by this world. And you have to be exorcised.
Yes, sir.
And therefore, sometimes being you done been a Negro so long, when somebody's challenging you to be God-like, overcome the Negro, you cuss the person that's doing that. Even though you got on God's clothes.
Wow.
Because you thought putting on God's clothes was enough.
Yeah.
That's the first sign of love.
That's right.
But now we got to go deeper.
That's right.
And so now I'm challenging you about the law of forgiveness. No matter how many times you've been offended, in your mind right there, you didn't know what this nigga did to me. You just don't know what I've been through.
Yes, sir.
That ain't God talking, that's who talking. The Negro talking. Everybody all right now?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to try to land this plane. So, It takes time.
Next time.
That's my point I'm trying to make. And if we don't know how to preserve the life form until we can reach that age where we can become, so when the minister said, you're looking at God, man, the critics and people who ain't great at it, call themselves God. Why is that strange? Did not David the psalmist say, ye are all God's children of the Most High God? So if your daddy is a God, don't you know at some point if you grow up what you gonna be?
God,
right?
And this is what the Jesus figure represents. He represents man's atonement with God.
Yes.
And you are looking at the presence again of God in a man as when he created Adam.
Yeah.
But now this is a man born of a quickening spirit.
That's right.
This is a man now who is perfected. He has overcome the sin of Adam.
That's right.
Come on, do y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
So it's not far-fetched. You just ain't used to a black man saying, I'm God.
That's right.
Because we're so far away from what we think God is.
Yeah.
And we don't think we have that potential. Well, why did God give you 14 billion brain cells? And each one of them can contain a thought.
Yeah.
And then the white man come and make a movie like Lucy with Scarlett Johansson
Yeah.
and show you Morgan Freeman
Yes, sir.
doing a study on what the capacity of the brain is.
Yes, sir.
And the most human brain beings only use 10%,
Yeah.
if that much of their brain capacity.
That's right.
Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
What would happen if they get to 20%? Go look at the movie, that's what he was talking about.
Yeah.
And Scarlett Johansson got something that opened her up like that,
Yes, sir.
whether she could get to 100%
Yeah.
of the functioning power of her brain, meaning she was in total harmony now with the universe.
Right, sir.
And at 40%, man, when the people in that room trying to kill her, she just swung them up to the thing up there, took their guns and stopped.
Yeah.
You and I look at that and say, this is some X-Men apocalypse stuff. Science fiction. But that is very real. We just so far away from ourselves as human beings, the God power, we don't realize what we got.
Yes, sir.
Let me give you an example. Everybody all right?
Yes, sir.
Now they show you another movie, Carrie.
Okay.
They show you Sissy Spacek
That's right.
throwing knives through the air. And her mama burned down the whole gym.
Yeah.
Because they dropped that pig blood on her boy.
Yeah.
I know these young people, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
Well, they got a new form of it now.
That's right.
But still, the original version is the
Right.
best.
Right.
Now, listen to Mother Tanya. And then I'm going to close this down. She said, Mother Tanya, we have five physical senses. Hearing, smelling, taste, what's the other two? Seeing and hearing. But, yeah, there's five of them. They all physical, I know that much. But she said there are two more. She said 7 in all. And those other two are bound up in our God and spiritual power
Okay.
that we have been cut off from during our sojourn in America. And what are those two? Telekinesis and telepathy.
Okay.
What is telepathy? The ability to communicate without speaking. And this is how we're taught in the true history of Jesus,
Yeah. We don't
of how the man who taught Jesus as a young boy to develop a radio in the head.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
That's right.
where he could tune in to people thinking. So when you read that in the Bible, when they say, "And Jesus knowing their thoughts."
There you go. Jesus, brother, man.
Y'all hear me now?
Yes, sir.
And Jesus knowing their thoughts, he went that way.
Yeah.
He went this way. And we do it on a small level.
Yeah.
How do you know you do it? You can be at your phone. I sure need to talk to so-and-so, so-and-so. And 5 minutes later, that goes so-and-so, so-and-so. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Or you'll be thinking about somebody and then you just tune in to them. And then you'll call them and they'll say, "Ooh, you must have been on my mind because I was just thinking about you, such and such, such and such." Or you say, I felt you were feeling a certain way. Am I true? And that person will say, "Yeah, I feel it, write it down, and such and such. I know God used you. I'm glad you called." Hasn't that happened?
Yes, sir.
That's right.
And we do that haphazardly.
Yes, sir.
So she said it was those two. And telekinesis too. So when you see Carrie throwing stuff through the air,
Yeah.
it's not spooky.
No.
And then you see it in Lucy,
Yeah.
and you see her do it, it's not spooky. How you know, Brother Darryl? If you could do it fast enough, I'd do it. And move your hand, or get in the car and roll the window down while you're going about 50, 60 miles an hour. You feel the air. You actually feel it. One of them hurricanes coming in there off the Atlantic, coming to Savannah, everybody get the hell out of here, though. And let's go.
Yep, that's right.
But that wind, even though you can't see it, it is so strong, you can't move. Or it'll move you.
That's right. That's right.
Well, how is it moving you and you can't see it? It can be seen. White man done developed little instruments now, they can actually see wind.
Yeah.
They can see it. They see the colors. I was looking at them last week and all the tornadoes and stuff rolled through Macon. And they were showing the air
Yeah.
with the different colors.
Yeah. Right.
And the white man had the red and the green air that shows the warm air and the cold air.
Yeah.
And they could measure the velocity.
That's
And
right.
it can tell you exactly what a tornado is and how strong it is. I said, "Ooh, this white man bad, boy."
Yeah.
And he's doing that from a sinful mind. What in the world we gonna be able to do when we get all the way cleaned up? But right now, I love that white man. Stay on that TV
Yeah.
so I can see where this tornado going.
Yes, sir.
And we thank Allah, it was coming up toward Macon, going to northeast. And then when it got about 20 miles outside of Macon, it made a sharp right.
Yeah.
I said, "Wow, who's it making?" Kept going. Then we got some believers in Byron, Georgia. Got right to Byron, Georgia, right at the Peach County line, lifted.
Yeah.
Went over Byron,
Yeah.
came back down.
Okay.
I said, "Woo, who's rolling that right there?"
Go ahead.
Who makes that?
But look at this. The molecules in the air is so tight. When we're in harmony with God, we have the ability to control these molecules and draw them up tight where we can actually move it and it can move people. Oh, but that is true.
Yes, sir.
But God can give you that to us now. We're too crazy.
That's right.
Because we'll be like Bruce Almighty. That nigga offended me. Oh, I'm mad at that. Crush's come. You can't give a fool that kind of power. And he's undisciplined.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But it takes time to develop that. So that is our God power.
Yes, sir. Yes.
And it takes time. Man, I hope I ain't boring you. I really do.
No, sir.
It takes time. So he said it take 35 to 50 years and you still ain't straight. It say we just wouldn't kill you and quit.
That's right.
Meaning if you mess up, we got you.
That's right.
So we have to be devoted. Once we get the skin love,
Yes.
then you got to get deeper into the love of another person in here that we really do not love. The minister told me personally, and it is to the degree that you love yourself is to the degree that you can love others. Because if you can't forgive yourself, somebody outside you gonna stand a chance.
No.
That's right.
One of me and my wife's biggest adage of us. You know, husband and wife gonna have some adage of us. Is this point. I don't believe, this is me. I'm like, Darryl, you don't have to confront things and deal with it. You just dismiss it and be done with it. That's not good. Okay? All right. That may be to a degree. I said, but I'm not a person, once something is done,
Yeah.
once you atone for it,
Yeah.
once you learn from it,
Yeah.
once you really look at it and analyze
Yeah.
it. Is that right?
That's right.
I'm not a person that's going to stay there with it.
No.
Learn from it, move on. I ain't dealing with no coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Yeah.
Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Because coulda, woulda, shoulda still ain't going to change the situation.
That's right.
So why the hell am I going to let that hold me a prisoner?
Yeah.
Happen, atone what I got to atone, learn what I got to learn, study from it, messed up, forgive myself, ask God for his forgiveness, keep it rolling.
That's right.
Now if you mad at me because I won't stay there in that pit party with you, you on your own.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, I'm going on. Because there's too much life. And when, listen to this, and when you can't forgive yourself, and when you can't forgive others, you become bitter.
Yeah.
And the poison is not against the person you're mad at. The poison now starts to affect you.
That's right.
And you get embittered. You get angry. The person going on about their business. And you see them, they ain't even paying you no attention. And you still worried about what that Negro did to you 20 years ago. They probably don't even forget it.
That's right.
They can't even remember what they did to offend you. You still bringing it up. Because you the man that was owed 100 pence.
Yeah.
And was demanding it from your brother
That's right.
or your sister. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
After the God who you owed 10,000 talents to forgave your behind for stuff that you do in the dark that brother and sister don't even know about.
That's right.
That's the tough part of learning to become God.
Yeah.
Everybody all right?
Yes, sir.
And so that takes to learn to how to struggle. So listen to Jesus. I said the Negro and God in the pool. But let me tell you how Jesus said it. Jesus said it like this, because somebody can't relate to the, they can't relate to the God and the Negro in the pool. But we can relate now.
Yes, sir.
I ain't in the pool, I don't know how to swim, brother. Well, which one get out of bed in the morning? But listen to Jesus. He said, if any man will be my disciple,
Yeah.
he must first do what?
Deny yourself.
Deny himself.
That's right.
Then in some translations it says this, and pick up his cross daily.
All day.
One say just pick up your cross, but I think it's Luke saying daily.
Go ahead.
That means every day you got to pick up this struggle with your vertical self, which is the righteous part of you, and the horizontal part of you, which is the Negro part. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And sometimes when you have been awakened by God and you know God and you know the Negro part in you, there's a struggle there.
Yeah.
And that can be a burden sometimes. And sometimes you start to say in your mind, I wish I had never heard the truth. Because it appeared that I was more at peace when I was dead than I am now than when I'm alive. Well, why? Because your God consciousness is awakened. And it condemns the dark side of you. And that becomes a burden because we have not yet made up our mind which one we're going to be. So it causes a burden. So we don't know which one we want to get out of the pool. That's a burden. Because you can be rolling along like God, feeling mighty good. And then here come a Negro accident and waiting. And you just lose all your God. Don't you? Come on now. I know I ain't the only one in that club. I ain't the only one in the half club. Aren't we all in that club? Come on now. Let's stop trying to make people think we're so righteous. No, we striving to be there. But if we really want to be there, we got to look at these God and demon battling. We got to learn how to handle it. Is that right?
That's right.
And the reason most of it is a burden, and I'm about to close, is because we have not made a choice on which one we want to be. That's right. We're still struggling. So listen at James. He said, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Then I was listening to a tape the minister did in one of your tapes that you said, James. Man, Brother James is some fire stuff. Since Savior's Day.
Yes, sir.
And all them lectures here he's giving up on his site, they're where the things that the minister said at Savior's Day 19, breaking down. And I text Brother Prince. I say, man, Brother James, he's giving a subject that's breaking down what the minister talked about. Brother Prince texted me back. He said, that's exactly what he's trying to do. But tell him I picked it up. I did. So when I'm at the gym in the morning, I ain't listening to no foolishness. I'm listening to them classic tapes. Brother James done put on my ears. Had to put Kendrick Lamar on the side. I know y'all. You listen to Kendrick Lamar. Huh? Yes, sir. And you know that I can kick Prince to the curb. You must got some juice. I kick him to the curb in the morning. But on this tape, the minister said, when you know what's right and you know the truth and you don't do it right, he said, this puts a man at war with himself. War puts him at war with yourself. And it causes conflict. And he said, and you cannot be successful in anything you do. So the meat of all of this come down with forgiveness. We got to decide to make a choice of whether we're going to be God or Satan. No man can serve two masters. No. And right from the table. That's right. He has to love one and do what? Hate the other. The minister said on this tape, he said, God did not put two hearts in a man. No. He said he give you one heart. Right. Because he didn't, as he gave you one head. Right. So you wouldn't have two hearts pumping in different directions. So either we got to be loyal to God or loyal to the Savior. Right. And the burden comes when we mix with both.
That's right.
So let me close with Jesus. They say, don't believe in Jesus. He said, listen to Jesus' words. See, Jesus was trying to tell us how to get off of this. They're very spiritual. I know, man. Hey, come on. Y'all fine with this now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, maybe
Problem
y'all
with
text
that?
me later or somebody pull me to the side and say, remember, you right on. That'll make me feel a little better. Because sometimes when I'm like this, I open up with whatever the Spirit takes me. It's very strange because my mind and in my mind, I don't want to go there. I want to talk about this and the God. Come on here.
I say, come on.
So struggle. So listen to Jesus. This is Jesus. He said, man, why you got your Bible? You won't look at it. He said, come unto me. Minister said this in the same thing. All ye that are heavy, what? Laden or burdened. Some trying to new will say burden, and old will say laden. Right?
Yes,
That's right.
And I will give you what? Rest. Well, Minister Farrakhan teaches us that the Jesus figure was trying to appeal to his disciples. He said they were heavy laden and heavy burdened because they were heavy with sin.
Yeah.
See? And when me and you are in a conflict with if we're going to serve God or if we're going to serve Satan, it makes us heavy.
Yes, sir.
We like Hercules. What do you mean like Hercules? We demigods.
Okay.
I mean, we half man and half God.
Yeah.
Or, for those who like Marvel movies, I talk to my young people. The Spider-Mans with Tobey Maguire.
That's right.
Not Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, the original,
The real one.
but Tobey Maguire.
That's right.
But in Spider-Man 2, he was struggling because he had to decide whether he was going to be Peter Parker or Spider-Man. And so he was flying through the air one day, and then all of a sudden, knew nothing come out. Fell to the ground, broke his back almost. He couldn't even climb the wall. It's not that the power was not there, but he was struggling with who he was with. Now, if you look at this new animated series, I know my young people know about this, Into the Spider Universe. I think that's the name. I got children in my house, so you know I know all of these things.
That's right.
The brother now who becomes Spider-Man, he was struggling with that same thing. Once he got the power, he had to determine whether he was going to be it or not. So, Tobey Maguire, he had to make a choice. What he wanted to be. He didn't want, he liked the power, but he didn't quite want all of the responsibility.
Yeah.
But he loved Peter Parker, but being Peter Parker and they knew he was Spider-Man, it would put everybody in danger that he loved.
That's right.
So he was in serious conflict.
Yes, sir.
But that wasn't stopping Dr. Octopus them from coming at him.
That's right.
And it was only when he decided.
That's right.
Remember something his uncle told him.
Great.
Great ability comes what? Great
Responsibility.
That's right.
And when he accepted, I'm almost finished.
Go ahead.
And when he accepted it, all his powers came back. Then he could take his glasses off and he could see it. Because when he didn't want to accept it, he couldn't see it. But when he accepted the powers, his eyes cleared up. So when him and Mary Jane was sitting in that coffee shop, and he was telling her he decided to be, that's when Dr. Octopus threw that car through the coffee shop. Ooh, I know y'all don't look this up. I told you, we don't drink, we don't smoke, we have to do something.
That's right.
We don't chase women. Just my wife, I chase. Nobody else. So we have to channel that in to do something sometimes.
Yes, sir.
So he had to make a choice. So now we go back to Jesus. Come unto me. And I will give you rest.
That's right.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
I think it's Can I read it?
Yes, sir.
Then we'll close with that. I want to close with another, but I think that will be sufficient. I think that's what is sufficient. Come on now. When I got it marked in my book, I don't want that one. I did want that one, but it's too late in the day for me to say that one. I just knew I knew that. God, man. So, he said, I will give you rest. Then he goes on. He said, so take my yoke upon you. And what is that? Y-O-K-E. Not Y-O-L-K. They call that homonyms. Meaning two words that sound alike, but they're spelled different. And they mean different things. But he said a yoke, Y-O-K-E. Well, what is a yoke? A yoke is what a farmer would put on the necks of two oxen. That when he was tilling the soil, and he would tie them together so that they could pull together in the same direction. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Whichever way he pulled, that's the way the oxen went. Right?
That's right.
So Jesus was telling them, take my yoke, tie yourself to God like I have. Is that right?
That's
I
right.
have submitted my will completely to do his will. There is no more struggle with me. I have made a choice. I'm in it. He raised me up. Is that right? So I might as well do it. So as the God told Elijah Kareem at that time, is that right?
Yes, sir.
He said, if you don't do it, somebody else will.
That's right.
He said, so why don't you get up and do it and take all of the credit for yourself?
That's right.
So if you've been called of God, those of us who are here in those first time, you hear me? You called.
That's right.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Well, if you call, then accept it. Because if you're called and don't do it, God's going to call somebody else.
That's right.
And the job is going to get done whether we do it or not.
That's right.
So why don't we go on and get the big name for ourselves?
Yes, sir.
Well, our children will remember us in years to come. Why pass that along to somebody?
That's right.
When you have been given the opportunity.
Yes, sir.
But you got to make a choice. That's what you want to do. Jesus made the choice. And he tied himself to his father's yoke. I mean, he yoked with his father. Whichever way his father pulled, that's the way he wasn't trying to. See, we already yoked, don't know be yoked. But here's our problem. God trying to pull it. And he just sitting there patient. I'm the strongest ox on this. You helping me. Right. But Jesus was saying, put on a submission yoke. Huh? And then he said, and learn of me.
That's right.
For I am what? Meek and lowly of heart. See? See, y'all thought I lost this point. I tell you, I ain't losing nothing. We back to that Negro and that God and that pool. It's hard for us to be meek because some of us think meek is being a punk. It's hard for us because we think too much of ourselves. So when you think too much of yourself, you are easily offended. Or when you don't think enough of yourself, you are easily offended. Y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
So we go back now to study guide 15, the characteristics of humility. The minister said, A person who cannot take much is not a humble person. A person who can't take much is a very arrogant person. What? Yeah, I know. See, that challenged that Negro in that pool. You can't take much. He said, if you are easily offended, you don't have a characteristic of humility. If you don't know who you are and don't love who you are. I want you to hear this. I guess this is going over well. I guess a lot of us needed this morning.
Yes, sir.
And ye shall find rest. When I make the choice, I'm going to submit now.
That's right, sir.
Ain't no more struggle.
That's right.
For my yoke is easy. My burden is what?
Light.
See? We have to make a choice.
Yes, sir.
So when I was getting ready to go to Satan today, Brother Jamie, I'm on the plane. Sister Beverly, she's like my oracle. She's like the oracle to me in the matrix.
Yes, sir.
When Neo first saw the oracle, he said, here's a woman baking cookies and smoking some cigarettes. She's such a spiritual woman. Oh, y'all don't think this stuff is bad. But did you know I just found out that Will Smith was supposed to originally play that part?
Yeah.
And he didn't want to get casted as an alien actor because he had been in Men in Black and all of that. And he went on to do Wild Wild West. He said, I regret that. I didn't do that. He said, but Keanu Reeves fit the part perfect. And even though the Wachowski brothers, who are now the Wachowski sisters, crazy word, believe it.
Wow.
They stole that script from a sister.
That's right.
That's why it seems like it's so connected to us.
Right.
Yeah. But in it, she put in the text. And she had a picture of the oracle that's smoking a cigarette on my text. She said, you already made the choice, son. Now you got to find out why.
Oh. Yes.
And that's what the oracle told Neo in the sacrament.
Right.
He said, you already made the choice. Now you got to find out why. So, if we have already been called, as I leave you, let's make the choice. Right?
Yes, sir.
And then when you become humble, and we'll go over what I started, when you become humble, then you can forgive your brother and sister when they offend you.
Yes, sir.
Because you understand the process. You understand that a mighty God has had so much mercy on you. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And forgiving you for so much of the thoughts that you have when you by yourself.
That's right.
And the things that you do when you think ain't nobody looking, but it's him looking. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
And how he forgive you. See, when you just don't think much of yourself and become humble, then when you understand that's the same struggle
Yes, sir.
that your brother or sister got. They've been introduced to this God power, and now they're trying to learn how to handle it. And sometimes more Negro come out than God. And then you get mad because Negro come out in God clothes and you don't understand the process there because you don't understand yourself with the same process. When you understand that, then you can forgive.
Yes, sir.
And then there's unity.
That's right.
So we have to learn how to take much. So the minister told us, Brother Jamie, and I think I said this one time before I was here. He says, the student minister, you have to be the emblem of redemption in your mouth. He said, if you ain't ready to do that, you can't be in the ministry. And he went on to explain it. He said, what? Meaning, you have to put yourself up on the cross.
Yes, sir.
Like Jesus did. And nail your hands to a vertical, a horizontal post. And nail your feet to an upright post. Right? And be willing to wear the crown of thorns. He said, because when you're trying to atone and redeem people, when they do you evil, you have to learn not to return. He said, nail your feet to the upright cross. The believers can walk in and out of unrighteousness, but as the representative of God, you can't do that. He said, then you have to wear the thorn, the crown of thorns. Meaning they blame you for everything. And curse you. Right? And then when they think you're dead, they come and put a spear in your side.
That's right.
We done ran this nigga out of Savannah yet. Let's get the thing. See, that's a life. And saying if we're not willing to do that, not just Brother Jamie, but I'm talking about all of us. We're not willing to put ourselves on the cross. Look beyond each other's sin. It don't mean it don't hurt. It don't mean that we don't have to sit down and talk about it. It don't mean none of that. It does mean once it's dead, be over and be done. And some people will never come and ask for your apology. Can you forgive people who have offended you? Can you do it without them ever coming to you?
Yes, sir.
See, that's the next part of that.
Right, sir.
So, and maybe it done took time, Brother Jamie. People who were some of my brother's critics, I realized they came not to follow me, they came to follow the minister.
That's right.
And I took whatever they had to say. When they come to the mob, they don't have no loving for me. But they support our Father.
That's right.
And as long as they support our Father, I'm all right.
That's right.
Is that right? God, something made me pick this spirit up in you. And I hope that it could help. I want you to think about people who have offended you. Let it go. And I want you to think about the effect. If you're still angry about it, I want you to think about the effects it's having on you. And I want you to think about the person who did it and look at what they do. Don't seem like they ain't wasting no time thinking about you. So why are you wasting time thinking about me? May Allah continue to bless you. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
Well, I've been around all the way back to Macon stupefied. How did I say that? One day I was in Macon preaching. Crazy. And I'm teaching, and something from the Quran just jumped in my mind. Boy, and I just, boom, it just went there. And so when I went in the back, he said that. That's not what's not trying to say that. I was stupefied. Then Sunday went, Tuesday went, Wednesday, Brother Sharif came. And something was presented in my face. I said, damn it, daggone it, that's what it was. I said, Allah made me say before it came to me. And I just spoke it before it came. And boy, it came right in my face. I said, that's what Allah made me say it. So I'm hoping that somebody will tell me that's why he made me sing.
That's right.
All right? All praises be to Allah. So, this my first time in leaving?
That's right.
Huh? They ain't get mad at me, and I love them too. I got first time I raised a black man.
First, second.
Oh, that's my brother. All praises be to Allah. Give my brother a round.
Yes.
Now, my brother, if you're out for your first time, did you like what you heard today from the teachers of Darryl Muhammad? All praises to Allah. And my last and final question, black man, if you like what you heard today, would you like to learn more about the teaching of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad under the leadership of the Honorable Minister like to do that? My brother. All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's called.
Hurry up. He might change his mind. No one ain't changing mind. People have money to spend. Get that money right now.
Right away.
Get it right away. But we thank you, our brother. Thank you for coming, brother. I hope you learned some any questions you can ask Brother James. On the thanks Savannah, they got 3 new exits there. They got Sister Nine. And my wife told me that. I don't know how I got it. She got her ex, brother
Here.
Here, his ex.
Man.
Yeah. Got his.
That's right.
Got his due All right, now, Savannah, let me give you a little marching orders here while you're doing it. Now, as we're in this process of trying to become a mosque, here's what I need for you all to do. Is that all right?
Yes, sir.
I need you to come out when I'm not here. You need to average 30 or 40 people. I know, and believe me, the laborers here are working on getting another place. Okay? Now, let me clear this up. Let's get rid of all of the disagreement. You ain't gonna never satisfy everybody.
That's right.
But at least you're moving somewhere.
That's right.
Do you hear me now? That
Yes, sir.
bigger and can facilitate. And then when things come along, you may go somewhere else.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
But sometimes other spots are like transition spots. It transitions you to another place. But it may get you out of the way you are right now. But it may transition you. But don't worry about it. Just keep moving forward. Okay?
That's right.
I had one day I was talking to a Christian preacher, and I was in his office, and we was trying to do something in the community, and it was me and him and a bunch of other pastors. I said, well, Pastor Mac, why don't we get some of these other pastors? He said, he said, no. He said he had a piece of cardboard with carpet swords on it. They had just chosen some swords from the church. He said, brother, if I waited to get everybody's opinion on what color we're going to put in this church, he said, I'd still be here now deciding
That's right.
where we going. He said, brother, good leadership is get your few people in the leadership, pick the color, and say, this is where we going.
That's right.
And if they following you, they going with you. Those that don't want to go, they won't go. So you can't satisfy everybody.
That's right.
Is that right?
That's right.
But if you want unity, then you got to come together, right?
Yes, sir.
And we got to move to the next place. So let's just give it time, and let's just see what's going to come out of it. But in the meantime, if you have to meet at Bay Street, come. It be packed in there. Yeah, make it look like packed sardines. See, when we first in Atlanta at 880 Martin Luther King, y'all saw it when Brother Sharif turned it into a restaurant. Now, I came in there when it was the mosque with no air conditioning. And we would be in the back of that room. I mean, we'd be in there, it would be 400 people in a place that couldn't hold but 50. With no air conditioning, they used to have to open up the door just like that. One no air conditioning, and they had one, but it didn't work. And then when you went out the back door right there, it was a drop off of 30 feet. That if you went out that road, you would go down there. But that's where I accepted.
Yes, sir.
And that's where we grew Atlanta from. That place, that little bitty place. And then Minister Van moved around the corner to 19 Ashton. And we got that bigger place that Bonner gave them. But the thing that I'm telling you about Bay Street, hang in there because it's something we're trying to do. As we're trying to get mosque numbers, if y'all average 30 to 40 people doing the meeting, this is going to Chicago. So when Chicago look at you all's applicant, they say, okay, Brother Darryl, Brother Sharif, they are averaging 30 to 40 people on Sunday. They doing this, they doing that. So you're doing mosque things. Y'all got what I'm saying now?
Yes, sir.
Now, I thought y'all wanted to be a mosque.
Yes, sir. That's right.
Is that why I'm riding down here 2.5 hours?
Yes, sir.
Exactly why.
That's right.
All right, right then, we all got something we gotta do,
That's right.
okay?
Yes,
So
sir.
when I look at this report next Sunday now, I want to see some numbers in there,
Yes, sir.
okay? And Jamie will be teaching.
Yes, sir.
I told him to teach until somebody tell him not to.
That's right.
To teach, okay? So we can go, because Savannah, Augusta fired up.
Oh,
Augusta, they place a little bigger than Bay Street, just a little. But boy, they had 30, 35 people in their place last week, and I wasn't even there. I'm going there to 24. I know they gonna have girls standing outside the door.
wow.
You gonna let Augusta beat y'all too?
No, man.
No, we can't let that happen. So, Joe, that's him there texting me, coming. They had 25 people out today. And that's great for them. When they were averaging just about 15, 14, now they 25. Last week they had a little over 30. And so we can make this happen. All right?
Yes, sir.
We can make that. Can y'all help me to do that?
Yes, sir.
Those are y'all marching orders, okay?
That's right.
Those are y'all marching orders. Those are y'all marching orders. That's what I need for y'all. So with that, I'm turning it over to Brother James. I thought I wasn't going to come out here and teach for about an hour, but y'all got me in the Holy Ghost and in the Holy Spirit. And again, I hope I said something that can help. All right? And I help, as I said in the beginning, it looked good, but it ain't free. So we need you to help in that capacity too. All right? All right, so who I'm going to bring? We'll bring up Brother Jamie. Ice on lady.